ladies and gentlemen, here they are, your GLIAC champion, the University of Findlay Oilers. Number 1, Lindsay Worth. Number 2, Madeline McCabe. Number 5, Mackenzie Lauder. Number 7, Megan Wendell. Number 8, Erica Rowe. Number 9, Abby Gardner. Number 11, Hannah Tong. Number 13, Allison Duncan. Number 14, Shelby Rydell. Number 15, Courtney Ross. Number 16, Mallory Kay. And number 20,
are you coming up here?
Starting tonight for the Oilers, the 5'11" freshman from Malone, Wisconsin. Number 3, Haley Olson. The 5'9" redshirt freshman from Versailles, Ohio. Number 6, Amanda Winter. The 5'6" freshman from New Rigo, Ohio. Number 10, Tara Scherber. The 6'2" senior from Dover, Ohio. Number 12, Julie Lyons. The 6'1" redshirt sophomore from Crestline, Ohio. Number 17, Michaela Garber. The 5'11" senior from Denver, Colorado. Number 18, Andrea Rhodes. And the barrel for the Oilers, the 5'4" senior from East New York. Number 4, Becca Shoemaker. The Oilers are coached by Whipple Chaga, assisted by Amy Coker, Scott Monroe, and graduate assistant Matt Cox. The officials for the day's master, Jerry GLIAC and Tony Sloan, remind veterans that East Bill Saber and Leroy Clark. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's play GLIAC Volleyball!
No, still can't hear you. All right, and we are just about ready to get set here underway in Croy Gymnasium, where the Lady Oilers are taking on the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. We're here in the first game of the quarterfinal, in the GLIAC championship bracket, and the Findlay Oilers are the second-ranked team, and they are facing off the seventh-ranked Wildcats this evening. And it looks like we're almost about ready to get set here underway, where number 16, Lisa Studnicka, is back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up and over, and it's going to be hit into the net. Point Oilers. Julie Lyons serves for the Oilers. Handled by number 15, Madison Whitehead. Kara Sugar dives to the ground, setting up Haley Olson. Amanda Winter with the kill there. 2 points. 2-point lead for the Oilers in the first set. Julie Lyons readies her serve. Up and over. Handled by the libero, Bridget Bussell. Haley Olson sends it over for the Oilers. Kept alive for the Wildcats by number 19, Autumn Monsma. Correction, Alex Berger, the libero tonight for the Wildcats. She is back to serve. Berger serves over, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sends it over for the Oilers, and it's tipped right back over by Madison Whitehead. And Andrea Roach just wasn't in position for that one. Point goes to the Wildcats, all tied up here. Berger again back to serve, and it's going to go into the net. Point Oilers. Oilers substitution, Madeline McCabe in for Andrea Roach. And Maddie is back to serve tonight for the Oilers. 3-2 Oiler lead here in the Croy in the quarterfinal of the bracket for the GLIAC championship. Her serve handled by number 16, Lisa Studnicka, and it's going to be sent over by number 19, Autumn Monsma. Point go to the Wildcats rather. Number 1 back to serve for the Wildcats, Megan Dahl. Her serve is up, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets it over to Haley Olsen. Olsen passes it over to Scherger, who's going to send it out of bounds. Point go to the Wildcats. And Dahl again ready to serve again. Serve is up and over, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes to Olsen. Olsen sends it over to Garverick. Garverick's going to spike it into the front court of the Wildcat defense and tie it up 4-all. Substitution for the Oilers, Hannah Tong in the front court. And it looks like Amanda Winter back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is handled by Dahl. Dahl passes to number 14, Jamie Hageboom. She's going to send it over, and it looks like Shoemaker just wasn't ready for that one, and she's going to go point to the Wildcats, 5-4 the score. Number 19, Autumn Monsma back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is handled by Winter. Winter passes to Olsen. Olsen sets up Tong, and Tong's going to send it into the hands of the defender, and it drops to the feet in the front court of that Wildcat defense. And she ties it up 5 apiece here at Croy. Shoemaker back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is up, handled by Berger. Berger passes it to number 16, Lisa Studnicka, and it looks like it's going to go out of bounds, point to the Oilers. Shoemaker again back to serve. She serves a floater, and it just doesn't have enough behind it as it goes into the net. Point Wildcats. With a November 14th win over Ashland, the Oilers claim back-to-back South GLIAC titles for the first time since 2003, where they repeated 3 times. And it looks like number 10 is going to be back to serve for the Wildcats, and it's going to be handled by Tong. A pass from it looked like Amanda Winter as the Oilers take a 1-point lead. Haley Olsen back to serve. She sends it up, and it's going to go into the net, just not enough behind it. Point Wildcat. Number 14, Jamie Hageboom back to serve for the Wildcats. It's handled by Winter. Winter sets up Julie Lyons, who's going to send it over to the Wildcat defense. Handled by number 15. And Shoemaker's going to dive on that one. Doesn't have enough behind it. It's going to fall just a little short of Julie Lyons, who sends it into the net. Point go to the Wildcats as they take a 1-point lead. Hageboom back to serve. Handled by Winter. Winter passes it up to Olsen. Olsen sets up Hannah Tong, who sends it to number 19 for the Oilers, Autumn Monsma, who passes it off, and they're going to score on that Oiler defense as they take a 2-point lead here in the first set. 14, Hageboom back to serve again. Handled by Winter. Winter passes it up to Olsen. Olsen sets up Tong. Tong's going to pass it over to 19, Monsma, who tips it out of bounds. Scherger back to serve for the Oilers now. It's handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to number 14, Jamie Hageboom. Hageboom sets it off to number 16, who sends it over for the Oilers. Oilers sets up Andrea Roach, who's going to score on that one as they cut the lead to 1. Hannah Tong was named GLIAC Player of the Week last time for the 5th time in her career, and she's averaging almost 4 kills per set. That's second best in the GLIAC. Scherger sends it over to number, looks like 19 for the Wildcats, and they're going to send this one into the net as they Oilers take a 1-point lead. Scherger again back to serve. Serve is up, and it is handled by Hageboom. Hageboom sends it over to number 14, and 14 sends it over to Scherger, and Scherger dives into the floor but doesn't have enough behind it as it goes into the stands. Number 16, Lisa Studnicka, sends it over for the Oilers, or for the Wildcats rather. handled by Winner. Winner sends it over to number 14 for the Wildcats, and they score on that one as they take a 1-point lead.
But you hear nothing?
Studnicka again back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Sugar. Sugar sends it over to Olsen. Olsen sets up Lyons, who sends it over to number 15, who sets up 7 for the Wildcats, and she's going to score off of the hand of Andrea Roach. Number 16, Lisa Studnicka, once again back to serve. Serve is up and over, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it to Olsen. Olsen sets up Andrea Roach, who sends it over to Berger. Berger passes it over back to Winner. Winner is going to set up Olsen, who sends it over. Point go to the Oilers as they cut to lead to 1. Julie Lyons back to serve. Serve is up, and it's going to fall short into the net as she is subbed out for Becca Shoemaker. Berger back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up and handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it to Olsen. Olsen passes it over to Garverick. Garverick is blocked by number 12. 12 sends it back over for the Wildcats off of the hand of Olsen as it goes out of bounds. Point Wildcats as they take a 3-point lead here at the first set in Croy. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout, but make sure you guys stay tuned for all of your UF sports and Oiler needs.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
And we are back here in Croy where Berger is going to send it over. She's going to get the ace as it looks like the Oilers defense wasn't set on that one. Berger's serve goes out of bounds, point Oilers. Maddie McCabe in for Andrea Roach. Maddie McCabe back to serve. She sets up her serve, and it's over. It's going to be handled by number 16, Lisa Studnicka. Studnicka is going to pass that one off and send it into the backcourt of the Oilers. Sugar just wasn't ready for that one. Dahl back to serve for the Wildcats. She readies her serve. It's up and over. Handled by Sugar. Sugar passes it to Olsen. Olsen sends it over to Garverick. Garverick's going to score off of the hand of Berger, who dives on the floor and just wasn't ready for that one as the Oilers cut the lead to 3. Megan Wendell in for the game, as well as Hannah Tong, as Wendell is back to serve for the Oilers. She sets up in the backcourt. Wendell's serve is up. Handled by Dahl. Dahl passes to number 14, Jamie Hogeboom. Hogeboom passes it off to number 19, Monza. Monza sends it over to 16. Off of the hand of, looks like, Nikayla Garverick and Tong for the dual block there as it falls to the backcourt of the Wildcat defense where nobody was ready for that one. Wendell again back to serve. She readies her serve. It's up. And it's over. Handled by number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to 14, Hogeboom. Hogeboom sends it over into the front court, blocked by Garverick. And the Oilers cut the lead to 1. 16-15 the score here at Croy. Wendell again readies her serve. Wendell's serve is up and over. Handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to number 12, Kayla Choza, and they're going to score off of the hand of, it looked like, possibly Garbrick or Tong, as they couldn't combine for the block there. Number 19, Autumn Monsma again back to serve. Handled by Monsma. Handled by Wendell, rather. Wendell's going to dish it off to Tong, and she's going to score on that one as we inch closer to cutting that lead, as we have it 17-16 Wildcat lead. Shoemaker back to serve. Serve is up. Handled by a Wildcat defender. Passed off to number 14, Hoggaboom. Hoggaboom sends it over to number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka sends it over to Shoemaker, who passes it off to the Wildcat defense. It's handled by Dahl. Dahl's going to send it over to 16, Lisa Studnicka, who's going to pass that on to the Oilers defense. And they score off that one. Number 10, Megan Supple back to serve for the Wildcats now. Her serve is up. It's handled by Wendell. Wendell passes it off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Tong, who's going to spike it into the midcourt. And Dahl's going to send it over. Was going to rather dive on that one, but she wasn't underneath it enough to send that one back and keep it alive. Haley Olsen back to serve now for the Oilers. Olsen sends it over, handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to number 14, Jamie Hoggaboom. Hoggaboom passes it off to number 12, Kayla Choza, who sends it over into the defenders of the Oilers, handled by Olsen. Olsen sends it back over, and it's going to be tipped back over, kept alive by Hannah Tong. Berger keeps it alive, and number 14, Hoggaboom, sends it back over, handled by Wendell. Wendell is going to pass that one off to Tong, who's going to get it nearly blocked. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout, point or by the Oilers here as they tie it up here at Croy. But make sure you guys stay tuned for Oiler athletic needs. And we're back here at Croy where Haley Olsen is set up to serve. She sends it over into the backcourt of the Wildcats. She passes it off to number 14, Hoggaboom. Hoggaboom sets up number 7, Bustle. Bustle sends it over to the front court, handled by Roach. Roach passes it off to Olsen, sends it back over by Lyons. Lyons gets her tip handled by the Wildcat defense. They're going to serve it back over and score in the backcourt of that Oiler defense as they're going to take a 1-point lead. 14, Hoggaboom is back again to serve for the Oilers. She's going to tip that one off the net, and it's going to go out of the backcourt of the Oilers as they score and tie this one up 19 apiece. Kara Scherger and Amanda Winter subbed into the game for Tong and Wendell as they're going to take a quick break. Scherger again back to serve.
Is the power plugged in on that? No.
Scherger. Serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to number 14, Hoggaboom, who's going to score on that one. Point Wildcats. Number 16, Lisa Studnicka back to serve for the Wildcats. Readies her serve. It's up. And it's over. Handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Winter. Winter spikes it over to Berger. Berger keeps it alive, sends it over into the sidelines of number 14, who's going to keep it alive. Pass it off to Lisa Studnicka, who sends it back to the backcourt of the Oilers, who just weren't ready for it as they dive on the ground trying to keep that one back in play. And it looks like we're going to take another timeout, whereas the Wildcats are going to try and think of a way to put this one away here as the score is 21-19.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I own Trans Am Meatballs and Records in downtown Findlay. We feature meatball subs. We also have other sandwiches, but we also sell vinyl records. In addition to that, we play vinyl records for you to listen to while you're eating, and it's just a fun environment, great atmosphere. It's good times. Love to have you come down.
And we're back here at the Croy as the Wildcats have a 21-19 lead here in the first set. Studnicka readies her serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up, and it's over. Handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes to Olsen, who sets up Lyons. Lyons is going to send that one into the midcourt. Kept alive by Berger. Berger passes it off to 14. Jamie Hogeboom, and it looks like number 19, Autumn Monsma, is going to score off of that pass. 16, Lisa Studnicka again back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Winner, who is blocked, but Shoemaker keeps it alive. Going to hit it into the backcourt as it looks like Scherger and Olsen simultaneously try to chase after that one, and it looks like they were a little hesitant to go after it, trying not to collide, and Olsen keeps it alive into the backcourt. 16 again, Studnicka to serve. Kept alive by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. It's going to be off the net. And Julie Lyons is accredited with that point. And she is going to be back to serve for that Oiler offense. 23-20, the score here at Croy. Her serve is up off the net, and it's going to be tipped by Berger. Berger's going to pass it off to number 14, Hogeboom, who's going to pass it off to number 12, Kayla Choza. Sends it into the backcourt as they score. Set point here for the Wildcats. Berger back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Winner. It's number 16, Studnicka, dives to the ground trying to keep that one alive. And Winner is going to get the point on that one. Maddie McCabe back to serve now for the Oilers as they have a 3-point deficit here in the first set. She readies her serve. It's up and over. Into the backcourt, kept alive by number 19. Pass it off to 14, who sends a rocket over to Shoemaker, but she dives and keeps that one alive. Pass it back over to Berger. Berger sends it over to Scherger. And it's going to be off of the line. Point Oilers. They cut the lead to 2. Maddie McCabe back again to serve. Sends a floater over, and it's kept alive by number 12, Kayla Choza. Choza pass it off to number 19, Autumn Monsma, as she scores off of the hand of Winner. And they take the first set here at Croy, 25-22. We're going to go ahead and switch sides and send it off for a quick timeout break in between games. But make sure you guys stay tuned to UFTV for all of your University of Findlay Oiler athletic needs.
Welcome to Coffee Amici. Come on in. Coffee Amici is a friendly place to sip and go or sip and stay. We offer a large selection of handcrafted espresso-based lattes, cappuccinos, and Americanos. In addition, we make delicious fruit smoothies, Italian cream sodas, hot chocolate, and fresh brewed coffee. Local bakers supply freshly baked treats. Free Wi-Fi is offered to customers who just want to relax and have a casual business meeting, study time, or just want to surf the web. Coffee Amici also provides free live entertainment on Friday evenings with open mic and scheduled performers for Saturday evenings. Coffee Amici was established in December of 2012 and is owned and operated by Craig and Jane Allen and John and Lynn Cavledge. Business hours are Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Hi, I'm Lori Bowman. I am the owner of the Dressing Room Boutique located in downtown Findlay, Ohio on Main Street. We are a contemporary boutique offering separates that you can mix and match, as well as dresses and accessories. We post all of our new items on Facebook every day, and we also post all of our events and specials that we're doing for the week. So check us out on Facebook. It's Facebook, the Dressing Room Boutique Findlay, and come and like our page and follow us.
Hi, I'm Zach, the Marketing and Box Office Director of the Arts Partnership, a nonprofit organization that provides quality entertainment and arts education programming in Hancock and Findlay. If you're looking for events to attend with your friends, or ways to get involved in the community or volunteer, or if you're a performer looking for opportunities in the area, we can help you. Look for more information at artspartnership.com or visit us at 618 South Main Street in Findlay, or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
And welcome back, and we are live at Croy Gymnasium where the Lady Oilers are taking on the Northern Michigan University Wildcats, as we are set here for the second set in this quarterfinal matchup as the Oilers are taking on the 7th seed. They're ranked second here as they're coming off a win over Ashland on November 14th, and that put them up as they won the GLIAC South back-to-back, the first time since it was done in 2001, 2000 through 2003, where they won 3 back-to-back-to-back. Let's see what Kara Scherger can do as she is set up to serve as she readies her serve here in the second set. Serve is up and over. It's going to be passed off to number 16. 16 passed it off to Hoggaboom. Hoggaboom sends it over, and it's going to go into the student section point Wildcats. 16 Hoggaboom back up to serve for the Wildcats. She sends it over, handled by Scherger. Scherger sets up Olsen, it's going to be a violation by the Oilers point Wildcats. 16 Hoggaboom again back to serve. Sorry, Studnicka back to serve. Studnicka serves handled by number 4 Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen, sends it over to Winner. Winner sends it back over to the backcourt of the Wildcats, kept alive by 16. 16 is going to send it over to the Oilers defense, and they just can't handle that one as it falls to the grounds. Studnicka back to serve for the Oilers. And her serve is going to go out of bounds as the Oilers get on the board. Lions back to serve for the Oilers, 3-1 Wildcat lead. Lions serve is handled by number 19, Monsma. Monsma passes it off to number 14, Hoggaboom. Hoggaboom sends it over to number 10, Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Lions, who sends it off to 15 for the Wildcats. She gets it back and sends it off to Lions, who sends it back over to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Winner, but she is promptly blocked by the Wildcat defense. Looks like it was number 15, Madison Whitehead, a part of that block. Berger back to serve for the Wildcats. Serve is up, handled by Scherger. Scherger bumps it over to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Amanda Winner off of the hand of Jamie Hoggaboom. Point go to the Oilers. Maddie McCabe in the game for the Oilers, and she is going to be back to serve. So the Oilers have a 2-point deficit here in the second set. Her serve is up, and it's going to be a little short end of the net as the Wildcats take a 3-point lead. Wildcat substitution, number 15 is out for Megan Dahl. Dahl back to serve now for the Wildcats. Serve is up and handled by Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Winner. Winner's going to send a bullet into the backcourt, and it looks like Berger just wasn't quite ready for that one. She slides onto the ground, and it bounces off out of bounds. Point Oilers. Hannah Tong now in the game for the Oilers, as her and Garverick are the dominant two in the front court for the Oilers. Winner back to serve for the Oilers now. Her serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to number 14, who sets up number 19, Monsma. He's going to send it over to Becca Shoemaker, who sets up Hannah Tong as the Oilers cut the lead to 1. Winner again back to serve. Serve is up, tipped off the net, and it's going to go fall in between Lisa Studnicka and the libero number 13, Alex Berger. As they've watched that ball fall to the ground in between them. Winner again back to serve. The Oilers tied it up here in the second set. Her serve is handled by Dahl. Dahl passes it off to 14, Jamie Hogeboom. Hogeboom sets up number 12, Kayla Choza, and she sends a rocket into the backcourt of that Oiler defense as they take a 1-point lead. Number 19, Autumn Monsma back to serve now for the Wildcats. She sends it over, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker bumps it up to Olsen. Olsen sends it over and sets up Garverick, but she's promptly blocked by number 16, Lisa Studnicka, who's going to send it right back over, hit up by Madeline McCabe, and it's going to go into the net, point Wildcat. Number 19, Autumn Monsma again back to serve. Handled by Winner. Winner sets up Olsen, who passes it back to Winner, and she's going to be blocked promptly by number 12, Kayla Choza. Timeout by Finley, and they have a 3-point lead here in the second set. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
All right, we are back here at Croy as number 19, Autumn Monsma, is ready to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up, and it's over, handled by Winner. Winner passes it off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Tong, who sends a bullet knocked up into the rafters. It's going to be off the hand of number 14, Jamie Hogeboom, and the Oilers are going to score. Shoemaker back to serve now for the Oilers. Her serve is up, and it's going to be out of bounds as the Wildcats take a 3-point lead. Number 10 into the game, Megan Supple, and she is going to be back to serve. Her serve is up. She sends a floater into the front court, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sends it off to Olsen, who sets up Tong. He's going to send it a bullet into the backcourt as she cuts the lead to 2. Andrea Roach in now for Maddie McCabe. Kayla Choza into the game for the Wildcats. Haley Olsen back now to serve for the Oilers. She's going to send it over to the Wildcat defense, handled by number 19, Monsma. Monsman's going to set up number 1, Dahl. Dahl sends it over, handled by Roach. And Roach is going to send a rocket there into the midcourt of that Wildcat defense, and she's going to score and cut that lead to 1. Olsen again back now to serve. Olsen sends it over to Berger. Berger sets up number 14, Jamie Hogeboom, who's going to tip it over. And it looks like Julie Lyons wasn't quite ready for that one as the Wildcats score and lead 10-8. 14, Hogeboom again back to serve now for the Wildcats. She sends it up and over, handled by Winner. Winner passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Julie Lyons. And looks like it's going to be a violation by the Wildcats, and she's going to score off of that and cut that lead to 1. Kara Scherger now in the game for Hannah Tong, and Scherger is going to be back to serve. She readies her serve. It's up and over, handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to number 14, Hogeboom. Hogeboom pass it back over to that Oiler defense. It's handled by Sugar. Sugar pass it off to Shoemaker, who's going to send it up to Julie Lyons, who's going to set up Amanda Wenner, who's going to catch that Wildcat defense off guard. He's going to send it off into the line as the Oilers tie it up 10-all. Sugar back to serve. Serve is up. Handled by 16. Studnicka. Studnicka pass it off to Hogeboom, who passes it back to Studnicka, who's going to tip it over. Haley Olsen dives to it, but isn't quite there, and Shoemaker keeps it alive, who tosses it off to Lyons. And it's going to be off of the hand of Lyons and go out of bounds, point Wildcats. And it looks like Studnicka back once again to serve. Studnicka's serve is handled by Shoemaker, who's tipped up by Olsen. Olsen sets up Lyons, who's going to send it out of bounds as the Wildcats take a 2-point lead. Studnicka once again back to serve. Her serve falls into the net. Point Oilers. Shoemaker in the game now. Garverick in the game now for Shoemaker. Julie Lyons back to serve. Serve is up, and it's handled by Berger. Berger passed it off to Hogeboom, who's going to set up 15 Madison Whitehead, who's going to send to that backcourt of that Oiler defense where they weren't ready for that one, and they stretch that lead to 2. Berger's serve is handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Winner, who's going to bump it over. It's going to be on the line, and she's going to score on that one. 13-12, the score. Maddie McCabe now in the game for Andrea Roach. Maddie back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is handled by 12, Kayla Choza. Choza passes it off to number 15, Madison Whitehead. Whitehead's tip is over. It's handled by Haley Olsen, who's going to score and tie it up 13 apiece here in this close game in the second set. Again, back to serve, Maddie McCabe. Serve is handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Hogeboom, and Hogeboom's going to set up Kayla Choza. It's going to be off the hand of an Oiler defender as they take a 1-point lead. Megan Dahl in the game now for number 15, Madison Whitehead. Her serve is up. It's handled by Sugar. Sugar sets up Olsen, who's going to send it over to Amanda Wenner. She's going to pass it off into the midcourt of the Wildcat defense where Megan Dahl just wasn't quite ready for that one as the Oilers tied this one up here in the second set, 14 apiece. Megan Wendell back to serve now for the Oilers. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Studnicka. Studnicka sets up Olsen, who's going to pass it off to number 12, Kayla Choza. And it's going to be out of bounds off the hand of Choza, point Oilers. 15-14 the score. Megan Wendell now again back to serve for the Oilers. She readies her serve. It's up and over, handled by number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Hogeboom. Hogeboom sends it over to Autumn Monsma. He's going to fire a rocket into the backcourt and tie it back up 15 apiece. Monsma back now to serve for the Wildcats. Serve is up and handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Garverick. He's going to fire a rocket into the backcourt. Berger dives for it, but wasn't ready for that one as the Oilers score. Shoemaker now back to serve. Serve is up, and it's handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passed it off to Hogeboom. It was passed off to number 19, Monsma, who sticks it off to and we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on that note as the Oilers have a 2-point lead rather. But make sure you guys stay tuned for all of your University of Findlay athletic needs.
I forgot it. Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Oh, he's totally ex-military. It's like, can you give me the most boring shirt you possibly can, and can I get 1,700 of them? All right. We are back here, and Shoemaker's going to keep this one alive as she sends it off to number 19. And point Wildcat here as they tie this one up. Or sorry, they cut the deficit to 1. It's currently 17-16 here in the Croy. As it looks like number 19, Autumn Monsma, is going to send this one over. And Hannah Tong sends this one back over as she scores, and as they take a 2-point lead. Haley Olsen back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Berger. Berger passed it off to Hogeboom. Hogeboom's going to set up number 7, Bridget Bustle. Bustle's going to send it back over to number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka's going to send it back over and handled by Hannah Tong. Hannah Tong pass it over to Wendell, who's going to send it over to the Wildcat defense. He's going to send it right back over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker's going to pass it off to Dahl for the Wildcats, and Bustle's going to score. Or sorry, she's going to hit this one right out of bounds as the the Oilers take a 3-point lead here. And it looks like NMU is going to take a take a timeout and try to come up with an answer for this 3-point run the Oilers have taken on them, but make sure you guys stay tuned.
On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, welcome to Findlay and Hancock County. We're so glad you chose the University of Findlay, and we're excited to have you in our community. That is a little easier. I'm a little bit more constricted where I can go, but I mean, that's not a big deal. County businesses for over 125 years. It's not a big deal at all, though. We serve as a resource for businesses and individuals seeking local information and provide unique opportunities to connect businesses and individuals to the community through various programs and events. We are a great resource for linking you to local businesses and professionals in the community. You might attend one of our networking events or even find us helpful in searching for internship opportunities. We encourage you to go out and explore Findlay. We're here to answer any questions you might have about your new community along the way. You can find us online at FindlayHancockChamber.com or follow us on social media with Findlay
Olsen back to serve
Hancock
for
County
the
Chamber
Oilers.
of Commerce.
Oilers sends it over to Berger. Berger passes it off to Hogeboom,
Welcome
who sets
to
up
Findlay.
Bustle.
The Hancock County Community
Bustle's going to score off the Andrea Roach as it goes out of bounds, and they cut the lead to 2.
There's so much for you to explore. Visit one of our many parks for walking trails, disc golf, or paddleboarding. And when the weather turns cold, we even offer cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. Head downtown to explore a variety
Hogeboom
of
sends it
dining
over for the
options, coffee.
Wildcats. She's going to set up Lions. Lions is going to pass it over to Wendell. Wendell's going to set up Olsen, who's going to pass it off to Lions. Lions is going to score in the midcourt there. And it looks like number 15, Madison Whitehead, lets that one fall to the ground. She wasn't quite ready for it. Sugar back now to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is handled by a Wildcat defender who sets up Hogeboom. Hogeboom passes it over to Wendell, or Bustles rather, who sends it back over to Sugar. Sugar sets up Wenner. He's going to send it over to the Wildcat defender. They're going to score off that one. Looks like a violation by Wenner. 2018 Oiler lead. Studnicka serves to Shoemaker. Shoemaker's going to send a rocket up into the, looks like it came off of the hoop that's raised up into the ceiling. Shot right back down to Shoemaker. Sugar wasn't quite ready for that one as the Wildcats take a point there. We're going to take a quick timeout as they do. 2019 is the score here at Croy. Madison Whitehead back to serve now for the Wildcats. Her serve is handled by Roach, who sets up Julie Lyons. Julie Lyons is going to send it back over to the Wildcat defenders. Whitehead is going to send it into the hands of Julie Lyons. It's going to go out of bounds as the Oilers lose that lead as the Wildcats tie it up 20 apiece here in the second set. Studnicka back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up and handled by Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Amanda Winter. She's going to send a rocket into the backcourt. And it looked like number 16, Studnicka, just couldn't quite handle that one. It's going to fall out of bounds. 21-20 your Oiler lead. Julie Lyons now back to serve. Her serve is handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Hogeboom. Hogeboom to Whitehead. Whitehead sends a rocket over to Julie Lyons, who's going to send it up into the rafters. Amanda Winter keeps it alive. Sends it off to Hogeboom, and it's going to go out of bounds. Studnicka is going to hit this one out of bounds. Point Oilers as they take a 2-point lead here in the second set. Julie Lyons again back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Berger. Berger sends it off to Hogeboom. Hogeboom sets up Whitehead, who tips it over, kept alive by Scherger. Scherger sends it over to Andrea Roach. Roach sends it over to Studnicka. And it looks like Monsma is going to send a rocket back over to the Oilers side, and it's going to fall in the backcourt, and Shoemaker just wasn't there. Berger back to serve now for the Oilers, or for the Wildcats, rather. Her serve handled by Scherger, who passed it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Winter. Winter's going to send it over to the Wildcat side, kept alive by Hogeboom. Hogeboom passed it off to Studnicka. Studnicka sends it off to, looks like it was Monsma who's going to send it back over to the Oilers side, kept alive by Winter, but it's going to go out of bounds. The Oilers have lost their lead as they tie it up 22 apiece. Berger again back to serve. Serve is up and over, handled once again by Scherger. Scherger passed it off to Olsen. He's going to send it back to Berger. Berger sends it back to Hogeboom. Hogeboom goes over to, looks like it was Whitehead. Whitehead sets up Berger, who's going to send this lead up to 1 as they take a 23-22 lead. Berger back to serve. Her serve is out of bounds. Point Oilers 23 apiece here in the second set. Oilers substitution, Maddie McCabe in the game for Andrea Roach. McCabe readies her serve. Serve is up, and it's handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hogeboom. Hogeboom sends it over to Monsma. It's off the hands of, looks like it was Amanda Winter with the block there. Point set. Set point, rather. 24-23 Oiler lead with Maddie McCabe again back to serve. Her serve is up. A floater to Whitehead. Whitehead sets up Hogeboom. Hogeboom passes it over to number 12. 12 sends it to Shoemaker, kept alive by Olsen. Olsen sends it back over. Studnicka comes firing to Scherger. Scherger's going to set up Winter. Winter passes it over to the East Eagle side. Oh, and it's kept alive by Berger. Berger sets up 14. She's going to hit it out of bounds, rather, and it's going to be 25-23 the final here as the Oilers take the game here. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but make sure you guys stay tuned because we've got more volleyball coming your way here at UFTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join us on the court for 3 minutes of volleyball frenzy. You win pizza. What else do we have? T-shirts. Well, it is always good to know. Simple game, serve it up. Hit it on the fly.
Historic building while our service team creates a night to remember. Gathering Wine, located at 235 South Main Street in downtown Findlay, is the city's finest retail wine shop and wine bar, featuring over 600 wines from around the world. We feature 15 wines by the glass, or create your own flight of tasting portions as you relax in the upscale atmosphere of the bar, or adjourn to the patio and enjoy the outdoors. The Anvil, located upstairs at the Gathering, is Findlay's ultimate whiskey bar, featuring over 120 fine bourbons and scotches, as well as 20 craft beers on tap. Hang out and enjoy live entertainment every Friday and Saturday night, and relax on our balcony overlooking the city. The Anvil is also available to be reserved for your private events and parties.
With a master's degree from Findlay, you can be more.
On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, welcome to Findlay and Hancock County. We're so glad you chose the University of Findlay, and we're excited to have you in our community. The Chamber of Commerce has been representing the interests of Hancock County businesses for over 125 years. We serve as a resource for businesses and individuals seeking local information and provide unique opportunities to connect businesses and individuals to the community through various programs and events. We are a great resource for linking you to local businesses and professionals in the community. You might attend one of our networking events or even find us helpful in searching for internship opportunities. We encourage you to go out and explore Findlay. We're here to answer any questions you might have about your new community along the way. You can find us online at FindlayHancockChamber.com or follow us on social media with Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to Findlay. The Hancock County Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you join the excitement in our town.
The Gathering, located at 114 East Main Cross in downtown Findlay, is the city's premier fine dining establishment, featuring modern American culinary creations of executive chef Rob Russo and his team of dedicated culinarians. The restaurant sources the final local ingredients as well as specialty items from around the world to create the ultimate in fine dining seasonal cuisine. Enjoy the open kitchen atmosphere and dine at the bar, or relax in the dining room of this beautifully renovated historic building while our service team creates a night to remember. Gathering Wine, located at 235 South Main Street in downtown Findlay, is the city's finest retail wine shop and wine bar, featuring over 600 wines from around the world. We feature 15 wines by the glass, or create your own flight of tasting portions as you relax in the upscale atmosphere of the bar, or adjourn to the patio and enjoy the outdoors. The Anvil, located upstairs at the Gathering, is Findlay's ultimate whiskey bar, featuring over 120 fine bourbons and scotches, as well as 20 craft beers on tap. Hang out and enjoy live entertainment every Friday and Saturday night, and relax on our balcony overlooking the city. The Anvil is also available to be reserved for your private events and parties.
Welcome to the Findlay Hancock County Public Library. Our library has one of the area's finest collections of fiction titles, popular non-fiction titles. We have a huge children's department as well as teen department, which may be of interest to education students at the school. We have a really large ebook collection, close to 60,000 titles now. Those are accessible easily through our website. We have a large audiovisual collection featuring DVDs, CDs, audiobooks. To open an account is easy, just takes a few minutes at the library. I just need 2 forms of identification, including 1 form of identification with your current address. I think the most important thing I want to say is that we really do offer good, friendly customer service here. If there's any way that we can help you, we'd be happy to do so.
Well, and it would have been a big-time dunk there by Terrence Sullivan, but I think the next step here as the Oilers are getting
All right, and we are back here live at Croy, where the Oilers won the last game 25-23, and the Wildcats are just about set here to serve it, and it looks like number 16 for the Wildcats, Lisa Studnicka, is back to serve. Serve is up, and it's going to be a rocket, and looks like Becca Shoemaker just wasn't ready for that one. She's going to try and get it back over to the other side. She's going to spin, and it's going to go right off her hand out of bounds. Studnicka again back to serve. Her serve is going to go into the net, and the Oilers are going to get on the board here as they tie it up one apiece. Becca Shoemaker now back to serve for the Oilers. Serve is up, and it's going to go out of bounds. Point Wildcats. Berger back to serve. Serve is handled by Amanda Winter. Winter passed it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Tong, who is surprisingly blocked by, looks like, Madison Whitehead and number 12. Looks like Kayla Choza for the Wildcats. Berger again back to serve. Serve is up, and it's going to be hit to Winter. Winter passed it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Tong. Learns her mistake from that one and fools the defender, tips it instead of sending a straight spike and floats it over their head, and it falls to the midcourt of that that Wildcat defense. Haley Olsen back to serve now for the Oilers. Her serve is handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to send it over to Whitehead, and Whitehead is going to score off of that one. And Whitehead is going to be subbed out of the game for Megan Dahl, and Dahl is going to be back now to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is going to fly out of bounds, and the Oilers are going to score and cut that lead to 1. Oilers substitution, Kara Scherger in the game now for Hannah Tong. Scherger now back to serve. Serve is up, and it's going to be tipped off the net, but kept alive by Berger. Berger passed it off to Hagaboom, who sets up number 12. Looks like Kayla Chozo sends a rocket into the backcourt. Point Wildcat. 19 now, Megan Autumn Monsma now back to serve for the Wildcats. Ready's her serve, it's up and over, handled by Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Roach, who sets up Winter, who sends a floater, and Megan Dahl dives to the ground for that one, but couldn't get underneath it, and Amanda Winter is going to score on that Eagle Wildcat defense. Julie Lyons now back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by the Wildcat. Wildcat keeps it alive. Pass over to Scherger. Scherger sends it over to Roach, kept alive by Berger. Berger sends it over to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up Monsma. Monsma sends it over to Kara Scherger. Sets up Garverick, who sends it back over to the Wildcat side. Tipped over by Amanda Winter. It's going to be kept alive by Megan Dahl, but she's going to send that one out of bounds. Berger is going to try and keep that one alive, running into the locker rooms. Couldn't quite keep that one in play. Julie Lyons again back to serve. She sets it up, and it's going to be into the net. Point Wildcats as they take a 6-5 lead. Wildcats substitution now. Number 10, Megan Supple in the game, and she's going to be back to serve. Serve is up. A low floater over to Kara Scherger. Scherger pass it off, kept alive by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Olsen, who sends it over into the Wildcat defense. Number 7, Fisher Bussell, the credited with the point there. She sends it into the backcourt. That Oiler defense. Supple again back to serve. Serve is up. And it's going to be out of bounds. Kara Scherger lets that one go. Point Oilers. Andrea Roach out of the game. It's going to be Maddie McCabe, taking her place. And she's going to be back to serve. Her serve is a little floater, kept alive by Berger. Berger sends it off to Hagaboom, kept alive by number 19, Monsma. Monsma spends that over to Winter. Winter passed it over to Olsen, kept alive by Berger for the Wildcats. It's going to be knocked over by Bussell. Bussell has a net violation. Point Oilers as they tie it up 7 apiece here in the third set. Maddie McCabe again back to serve. She readies her set. A floater to the front court, kept alive by Berger. Berger passed off to Hageboom and kept alive by Studnicka. Studnicka sends a bullet over to Shoemaker. Kept alive by Olsen, who passed it over to Wenner. Wenner back to Olsen and sets up Shoemaker. Shoemaker's going to set up Wenner. Sends a bullet to the backcourt of that Wildcat defense where nobody was sitting ready for that one. And they're going to take a 1-point lead here at Croy. Maddie McCabe once again back to serve. Serve handled by Berger. Berger to Hageboom. Hageboom tips it up to Bussell. Bussell's going to be blocked by Garverick. Garverick's going to spike it into the hands of, it looked like it was Alex Berger who's going to fall to the ground trying to keep that one alive. McCabe again back to serve. Her serve is up. Over. And it's going to be out of bounds. Point Wildcats. Wildcats substitution. Madison Whitehead in the game now for Megan Dahl. And it looks like it's going to be number 14, Jamie Hageboom, back to serve. Her serve kept alive by Sugar, rather. Pass it off to Olsen. Sets up Wenner, who sets it back over to it looks like number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka sends it over to, looks like it was Sugar. Passed off to Shoemaker. Going to be a violation by the Wildcats as the Oilers take a 2-point lead. Oilers substitution. Hannah Tong in the game for, looks like, Kara Sugar, and Megan Wendell in the game for Amanda Wenner. Wendell now back to serve. She readies her serve. Sends it over to the midcourt, kept alive by, looks like, number 19, Monsma. Monsma sets up 15, who sends a rocket to Wendell. Wendell falls to the ground, trying to get underneath that one. It falls out of bounds. So the Wildcats cut the lead to 1. Studnicka now back to serve. Sends a bullet to Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Garverick, who tips it over, kept alive by Berger. Berger passes it off to Studnicka. Studnicka sends it back over to the Oiler defense, kept alive by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Garverick. He's going to pass it back over, and it looks like Studnicka is going to dive to the ground trying to keep that one alive. Couldn't quite get underneath that one. Shoemaker now back to serve. Serve kept alive by Studnicka. Studnicka is going to tip that one over. Point Oilers off the hand of Julie Lyons. Timeout, Oilers, and we're going to go ahead and take a short break here, but make sure you guys stay tuned. It's a close one here at Croy as the Oilers have a 3-point lead here in the third set.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
Welcome to the Findlay Hancock County Public Library. Our library has one of the area's finest collections of fiction titles, popular nonfiction titles. We have a huge children's department as well as teen department, which may be of interest to education students at the school. We have a really large ebook collection, close to 60,000 titles now. Those are accessible.
And we are back out here live at Croy. Becca Shoemaker is back to serve here for the Oilers. He's going to send it over to number 19, Monsma. Monsma's going to pass it over to number 20, Jesse Kushner. Kushner's going to tip it back over, kept alive by Wendell. Wendell's going to pass it off to Haley Olsen, who sets up Hannah Tong, who's going to score off a beautiful serve there, a kill. Jesse Kushner subbed into the game for Bridget Bussell. Shoemaker again back to serve for the Oilers. Shoemaker's serve is up. Handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hageboom. Hageboom sets up Whitehead, who's going to send a rocket to Wendell. Off the hand of Wendell, it goes out of bounds. Point Wildcat. So they cut the lead to 3. Berger now back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up, handled by Wendell. Wendell passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Julie Lyons, who sends a rocket to Hagaboom. Hagaboom passes it over to Berger, who passes it to Studnicka. Studnicka is going to send it over to Maddie McCabe. It's going to be off the hand of Julie Lyons, point Wildcat, as she couldn't get underneath that one. Berger's serve, handled by Wendell. Wendell passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Hannah Tong. Tong is blocked, but it's going to fall back off of the hand of Julie Lyon. It's going to fall out of bounds as the Oilers stretch the lead to 3. Andrea Roach now in the game for Maddie McCabe, and it looks like Haley Olsen is going to be back to serve. Her serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Studnicka, who sets up number 19, Mosma. Mosma's pass is going to be set up by Hannah Tong, who sets up Andrea Roach. Back over to Berger. Berger's going to pass it off to Mosma, kept alive by Wendell. Wendell passes it off to Olsen, and off the hand of Hannah Tong. She's going to extend that lead to 4, rather. And the Wildcats are going to take a timeout, try to come up with an answer for this stretch that the Oilers have been putting on here in this third set. But make sure you guys stay tuned. This is a close one here at Croy.
Using the headset.
Can't hear anything.
Or can I? See, the neck keeps listen.
And we are live here at Croy as the Oilers have a 4-point lead here in the third set. Looks like Haley Olsen readies her serve for the Oilers. Serve is up, handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom, who sets up number 12, Kayla Choza. Choza passes it off to Whitehead, and it's going to be sent back over to the Wildcat side. Whitehead tips it over, kept alive by Shoemaker. Shoemaker tips it over to Tong. Tong's going to send a floater back over to Studnicka, who dives for it. Studnicka sends it over to Mosma, passes it over to Whitehead. And Julie Lyons is going to be accredited with the score there. So Oilers stretch this one to 5. 16-11 the score here at Croy. Haley Olsen now back to serve. Her serve passed over to Berger. Berger passed it off to Whitehead. He's going to send it over to Choza, but looks like it was a block by the Oilers, and they're going to score off that block and stretch this lead 17-11, the score here at Croy. Olsen serves it over to Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom passes to Whitehead. Olsen dives on it back to Whitehead, and it's going to be off of the hand of Hannah Tong and go out of bounds, and they cut that lead to 5. Megan Dahl now back to serve. Her serve handled by Wendell, who passed it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Julie Lyons, sends a rocket to the backcourt of that Wildcat defense. And they're going to stretch that lead to 18-12. Kara Scherger now back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's over to Berger. Berger passed it off to Hagaboom, who sets up Kayla Choza. Choza's going to float it over, and Shoemaker's going to dive on it, but she's going to be a little too late as the Wildcats score off of that one and cut that lead to 5. She's going to send that one over to Julie Lyons. Kept alive by Megan Dahl. Megan Dahl passed it off to number 16. 16 passed it off to Berger. She's blocked by Lyons. Winner sends it off to Olsen. Olsen sends it back over to Dahl. Dahl sets up number 12, Kelsey Choa. And it's going to be out of bounds, point Oilers. Julie Lyons sends it over. Kept alive by, looks like, Berger. Supple back now to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is kept alive by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Andrea Roach. Number 19 is going to send this one up into the rafters, but it's kept alive by Supple. Supple's going to pass it off to number 16, Studnicka. It's going to be off the hand of an Oiler defender, and they're going to cut that lead to 4. Supple now back to serve. Her serve is handled by Sugar. Sugar passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Roach. Roach is going to keep that one alive, Supple will keep that one alive for the Wildcats. She's going to send it over to Sugar, pass it off to Shoemaker, who sets up Amanda Wenner. Wenner is going to send a rocket down into the midcourt, and they're going to score and cut the lead to 5. Berger's going to pass that one off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to set up Bustle. Bustle back to Hagaboom. She's going to tip that one over. Maddie McCabe dives for it, but she couldn't quite get to it. Hagaboom now back to serve for the Oilers, or for the Wildcats, rather. Ready to serve. Sends it over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker pass it off to Garverick, who sets up Wenner. Wenner pass it over to the Wildcat side, and it's going to be set up by number 16, Studnicka. Passed off to Whitehead, and she's going to score off that one. The Oilers are going to take a quick timeout, as are we, and make sure you guys stay tuned because it's a close one. 20-17 the score here in the third set at Croy.
The Chamber of Commerce has been representing the interests of Hancock County businesses for over 125 years. We serve as a resource for businesses and individuals seeking local information and provide unique opportunities to connect businesses and individuals to the community through various programs and events. We are a great resource for linking you to local businesses and professionals in the community. You might attend one of our networking events or even find us helpful in searching for internship opportunities. We encourage you to go out and explore Finley. We're here to answer any questions you might have about your new community along the way. You can find us online at FinleyHancockChamber.com or follow us on social
Number
media
14,
with Finley
Jamie
Hancock
Hagaboom
County
back
Chamber
to
of
serve for the Wildcats as we are set to get this one back underway. She sends it over to Sugar. Sugar passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Wenner. Wenner's going to get blocked by Whitehead, but it's kept alive by Garverick. Garverick sends it over to Olsen, who passes it off to Wenner. It's going to be kept alive by Berger for the Wildcats, but it's going to be tipped over by number 16, Studnicka, and it's going to go out of bounds. Point Oilers. Oilers substitution now for Hannah Tong in the game for Kara Sugar, as well as looks like Megan Wendell is going to be in the game for Amanda Wenner. Wendell now back to serve for the Oilers. She readies her serve. Serve is up, and it's over. Handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom tips it over to Whitehead. She attempted for a floater, fingertipped it, and it's going to fall short of the net. Point Oilers, 22-17 the lead to the Oilers. Megan Wendell again back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Hagaboom. Back to Studnicka. And Megan Wendell is going to dive on that one, but she wasn't quite in front of that one. It's going to fall to the left of her as the Wildcats cut this one to 4. Studnicka now back to serve for the Wildcats. Serve is up. It's handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passed it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Garverick. It's going to be a violation against the Oilers. Point go to the Wildcats. Studnicka again back to serve. Her serve is handled by Hannah Tong. Tong sends it into the hands of 7, Bridget Bustle, who's going to send it right back and out of bounds. It's going to go point Wildcats. And the Oilers are going to take another quick timeout as they cut that lead down to 2 here in the third set. But make sure you guys stick around.
At Cakes for Heaven's Sake, come in for a sweet escape from your busy life. Cakes for Heaven's Sake, where we specialize in custom cakes for all occasions, mouthwatering cupcakes, cookies, candies, and more. We can also provide the do-it-yourself baker with the supplies to make their own sweet creation. Stop by today for a ready-made sweet treat or to place an order for your special occasion. When you order from Cakes for Heaven's Sake, your order is designed with the help of our staff with you and your special occasion in mind. Your ideas designed for your personality, budget, and taste. Then it's baked to order for your special day. We are a locally owned and family operated business. We are here to give inspiration to your special occasion, whether for one, hundreds, or thousands. Cakes for Heaven's Sake, where the cakes speak for themselves. 1201 North Main Street, Findlay, across the street from the University of Findlay Kaler Center.
And we are back here at Croy as Studnicka is back to serve for the Wildcats. Looks like a quick substitution for the Oilers. Aaron Gilbert in the game for Maddie McCabe. Studnicka again back to serve. Readies herself. It's up and it's over. Handled by Wendell. Wendell passed it off to Olsen, who's going to set up Tong. Tong's going to spike it into the face of number 14. Jamie Hagaboom is going to go out of bounds. Point Oilers 23-20 the lead, the score here in the third set at Croy. Becca Shoemaker now back to serve. It's up, and it's to Berger. Berger sets up Hagaboom. Sorry, Studnicka, rather. It's going to be off of the hand of Haley Olsen. And it looks like she doesn't quite agree with that one. 23-21 Oiler lead, as Berger is now back to serve. Berger's serve is handled by Gilbert. Sends it over to Hannah Tong. Tong to Wendell. Wendell's going to send it over to Studnicka. Studnicka pass it off to Hagaboom, who sets up Whitehead. Whitehead sends it over to Wendell. It's going to be tipped over by Hannah Tong. Kept alive by number 14, who passed it off to Berger. Sends it back over to Shoemaker, who passed it off to Haley Olsen. It's going to be nearly blocked by Hagaboom, but it's kept alive. Blocked by Julie Lyons. And it's going to be blocked by Hannah Tong, who sends it back over. Nearly blocked, but it looks like nearly a double hit by Whitehead, but it stays alive. Hannah Tong nearly gets it blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds. Set point for the Oilers, 24-21. Oilers substitution. It's getting loud here in the Croy, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's up on their feet. Looks like nearly half the football team is in the reserve section. Haley Olsen sets up her serve to Berger. Berger sets it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom to Whitehead. It's going to be blocked by Hannah Tong and Julie Lyons. And the Oilers are going to take the win here in the second set, 25-21. And they have a 2-1 lead here in the series. But we're going to be right back here for that fourth game. But make sure you guys stay tuned. It's heating up here at the Croy.
Earth Velocity produces premium wellness and skincare products that are 100% plant-based. In every part of the process, we use environmentally sustainable methods, because in order for the earth to keep us healthy, we have to keep the earth healthy. The plant kingdom provides us with powerful natural oils that activate our body's ability to heal itself. All of the herbs are hand harvested and infused with organic carrier oils and therapeutic essential oils. The resulting products are ready to use for wellness, aromatherapy, massage, and skincare.
Welcome to the Findlay Hancock County Public Library. Our library has one of the area's finest collections of fiction titles, popular non-fiction titles. We have a huge children's department as well as teen department, which may be of interest to education students at the school. We have a really large ebook collection, close to 60,000 titles now. Those are accessible easily through our website. We have a large audiovisual collection featuring DVDs, CDs, audiobooks. To open an account is easy, just takes a few minutes at the library. I just need 2 forms of identification, including 1 form of identification with your current address. I think the most important thing I want to say is that we really do offer good, friendly customer service here. If there's any way that we can help you, we'd be happy to do so.
Ready to get the 4th game underway, and it looks like Megan Wendell is going to be back to serve for the Oilers as soon as she gets the go-ahead here from our officials. A few last-minute instructions here by the coach, and we're going to go ahead and get this one underway. She readies her serve. Serve is up, and it's going to be handled by a Wildcat defender. Up to Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to set up number 16, Studnick. Nearly blocked by Garverick. He's going to fall out of bounds, point Wildcat. Number 16, Studnicka now back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Garverick. And she's going to score off that one, violation by the Wildcats. Shoemaker now back to serve for the Oilers. Shoemaker's serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Whitehead, who passes it off to Hagaboom, who sets up Whitehead, who is going to score off of that one. 2-1 the score here at Croy. Berger sets up, passes it off to Wendell. Wendell passes it off to Olsen, who's he'll set up Julie Lyons, who's going to send it over in the backcourt. And it's nearly blocked by number 12 for the Wildcats. But she's going to go ahead and tip that one back and score and tie it up here to a piece. Haley Olsen now back to serve. Serve is up to Berger. Berger sets up Hagaboom to number 12, Choza. Choza sends it over to Wendell, bounces off of a light in the rafters and comes back down to Haley Olsen. Olsen's going to send this one out of bounds, point Wildcats. Wildcats substitution, Megan Dahl in the game for Whitehead. Megan Dahl's serve is up, and it's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to be tied up 3 apiece. Kara Scherger in the game, as well as Amanda Winter for Hannah Tong and Megan Wendell. Scherger now back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is up, and it's going to be off the net, but into the hands of Studnicka, who sets up Hagaboom, who sends it back over to Winter. Sets up Shoemaker. Shoemaker back over to Winter. Sends it back over to the Wildcat side, and they're going to send a rocket Kara Scherger's way, and she's going to dive on it off the ground, but she couldn't quite get there. She falls short. 4-3 Wildcat lead here at Croy. Number 19, Autumn Monsma now back to serve. Her serve is going to fall into the net, and the Oilers are going to tie it up 4 apiece. Julie Lyons now back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom, who sets up number 12, Choza, but she is blocked, and it's going to go back into the hands of Monsma. Monsma is going to send it over to Scherger, rather, and Andrew Roach is going to send a bullet back over to the Wildcat side. And Kara Scherger is going to dive on it, but she's just a little short as she scoots across the ground, and the Wildcats take a 5-4 lead. Supple now in the game for the Wildcats, and she'll be back to serve. Her serve is then handled by Scherger, who passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Winner. Winner is nearly blocked by Bustle, but it falls through her hand, and it looks like Supple's going to try and dive on that, but she's also just a little short. Maddie McCabe now back to serve. Serve is up, and it's over. Handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom, who's going to try and tip it over. She doesn't know Winner's behind her. She's going to tip it right back her way, and she's going to attempt to get it again, but she just didn't see it coming because she had her back turned to her defender. Maddie McCabe now again back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's going to fall into the net, and the Wildcats are going to tie it up 6 apiece. Megan Dahl subbed out of the game for Whitehead, number 15, and it looks like number 19, Autumn Monsma, is back to serve. Sorry, it looks like it's not Monsma, it's number 14, Hagaboom. Hagaboom served by Maddie McCabe, who passes it off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Olsen. Scherger's going to send it back over. Scherger's going to dive on the floor for that one, but it's going to go fall out of bounds and into the stands. Point Wildcat as they take a 1-point lead, 7-6 here at Croy. Number 14 again, Hagaboom back to serve. Her serve is handled by Shoemaker, who passes it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Scherger, who sends it back over to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up number 19, Monsma. Monsma set back over to Scherger. Scherger is going to send it over to Monsma and back to number 14, Hagaboom, who sets up Bustle. He's going to send it back over to Kara Scherger, who couldn't handle that one, and it's going to fall out of bounds. So Oilers fall 2 points, 8-6, the score here in the fourth set. Hagaboom's serve is handled by number 6, Winner. Winner passes it off to Olsen. Olsen back to Winner, who's going to send it over to the hands of Monsma. Monsma will set up Whitehead, who's going to fire a rocket Maddie McCabe's way, and she's going to fall short of that one as the Oilers fall 3 points. Hagaboom once again back to serve. Her serve is handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen. Olsen will set up Garberick. She's going to fire a spike into the defender it was the Wildcat defender, number 15, Whitehead, and it's going to fall to her feet as the Oilers cut the lead to 2. Amanda Winner now back to serve for the Oilers. Her serve is going to fall short and into the net. Point Wildcat as they stretch that lead out to 10-7. Megan Wendell in the game now for Amanda Winner. Number 16, Studnicka now back to serve. Her serve is handled by Wendell, who passes it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up it was Hannah Tong rather, who will be blocked. Sends it back over to the Wildcat way, and it's going to be tipped off of the hand of a Wildcat, and it's going to be point Oilers, and a bit of a confusing call there between the two officials. Oilers have a 2-point deficit as Shoemaker is back now to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Whitehead. Whitehead passed it off to Hagaboom. Back to Whitehead, and she's going to send a rocket to Becca Shoemaker's way, but it's kept alive by Wendell. Wendell's going to send it over to Hagaboom and sets up Whitehead, who sends a rocket into the backcourt of the Oilers. Becca Shoemaker just wasn't quite there for it, and they're going to score and cut that lead. Stretch that lead out to 3. Scherger again back to serve. Berger, rather. Berger's serve is going to fall out of bounds. Point Oilers. 11-9 the score here at Croy. Northern Michigan with a 2-point lead. Haley Olsen now back to serve. Her serve is handled by Berger. Berger passes it off to Hagaboom, who sets up 12, Kayla Choza. Will fire a bullet into the backcourt where Megan Wendell just wasn't ready for that one. Awaiting maybe another pass as she watches that one fall out of bounds. 12-9. Wildcat lead. Megan Dahl now back to serve. Her serve is handled by Shoemaker, set up by, pass it off to Olsen, who sets up Tong, but Tong gets blocked as the Oilers have a fall to a 4-point deficit. And coach is going to take a quick timeout to try and regroup his girls so they can figure out maybe an answer for this run that the Eagles have been putting on here. But make sure you guys stay tuned to find out what happens here at the Croy.
Friendly place to sip and go or sip and stay. We offer a large selection of handcrafted espresso-based lattes, cappuccinos, and Americanos. In addition, we make delicious fruit smoothies, Italian cream sodas, hot chocolate, and fresh brewed coffee. Local bakers supply freshly baked treats. Free Wi-Fi is offered to customers who just want to relax and have a casual business meeting, study time, or just want to surf the web. Coffee Amici also provides free live entertainment on Friday evenings with open mic and scheduled performers for Saturday evenings. Coffee Amici was established in December of 2012 and is owned and operated by Craig and Jane Allen and John and Lynn Cavledge. Business hours are Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Croy, where Megan Dahl is ready to serve for the Wildcats, but her serve is going to fall out of bounds. Point go to the Oilers as they cut that lead to 3. Kara Scherger in the game, as well as Amanda Winter for Megan Wendell and Hannah Tong. Kara Scherger now back to serve for the Oilers. Serve is up to Dahl. Dahl passes it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up number 19, Monsma. Monsma sends it over to Scherger. Scherger passes it off to Roach, who sets up Winter. Winter sends a rocket over to number 16, Studnicka. Studnicka passes it off to Becca Shoemaker. Shoemaker is going to set up Julie Lyons, who sets a rocket back into the front court, where it looks like number 19, Megan Monsma, or sorry, Autumn Monsma, rather, was not ready for that one. She lets that one fall to the ground. Kara Scherger serves it to Berger. Berger sets up Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to have looks like a net violation. Point Oilers as they cut that lead down to 1. 13-12 the score here at Croy. And it looks like NMU's coach is going to take a quick timeout here and try to figure out what happened there in that last few volleys and see if they can put up an answer for what the Oilers have been throwing at them. But stay tuned to the University of Findlay TV to find out what happens next.
Underwriting provided by Heavenly Pizza, 1404 North Main Street, Findlay, 419-423-7494. UF students get 10% off with ID.
And welcome back here to the Croy Gymnasium, where the Oilers have cut the lead to 1 as they are facing off in the quarterfinal against the 7th seed NMU Wildcats. Looks like Kara Scherger is ready and set to serve this one off. Her serve is handled by Studnicka. Studnicka sets up to Berger. Berger pass it back to Studnicka, and she's going to send that one out of bounds as the Oilers tie this one up 13-all here in the 4th set. Kara Scherger once again back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Berger. Berger sends this one up into the rafters, but it comes down to Studnicka. Studnicka's going to pass this one over to Autumn Monsma, who's going to try and tip this one back over, but she didn't have her lineup right, and she just couldn't get that one back over. And the Oilers are going to take a quick timeout here, as are we. So make sure you guys stay tuned to UF TV to see if the Oilers can pull this one off against the NMU Eagles.
Hi, I'm Zach, the Marketing and Box Office Director of the Arts Partnership, a nonprofit organization that provides quality entertainment and arts education programming in Hancock and Findlay. If you're looking for events to attend with your friends, or ways to get involved with the community or volunteer, or if you're a performer looking for opportunities in the area, we can help you. Look for more information at artspartnership.com or visit us at 618 South Main Street in Findlay, or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
Live in Croy. After that quick timeout break, Kara Scherger back again to serve now for the Oilers as she readies her serve. sets it up, and it's going to fall right into the net for Kara Scherger. Point Wildcats as they tie this one up 14 apiece. Autumn Monsma now back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passed off to Olsen, who sets up Winner. Winner's going to send it into the backcourt. It's going to be dove on by Monsma, but she couldn't get underneath that one to keep it alive. The Oilers take a 1-point lead. Julie Lyons now back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by Berger. Berger passed it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to set up 12, Kayla Choza, and she's going to fire it out of bounds as the Oilers take a 2-point lead. Julie Lyons once again back to serve. Serve is up, handled by Dahl. Dahl passed it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom's going to set up 12 to Kayla Choza. It's going to be tipped back their way, and it's going to be set up by Berger. Berger is going to set up 12 Kayla Choza, who's going to send it out of bounds on the sideline there. As the Oilers pull away with a 3-point lead, 17-14 the score here at Croy. Julie Lyons once again to serve, handled by Berger. Berger to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up Studnicka. Studnicka is going to send a bullet into the hand of Andrea Roach. It'll go off her hand. Point Wildcats. Supple in the game now for the Wildcats, as she is now back to serve. Serve is handled by Scherger, who passed it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Garverick. Garverick's going to send a bullet to the midcourt where Supple will try to dive on that, but she just couldn't get underneath it to keep that alive. Maddie McCabe now in the game for Andrea Roach. Maddie now back to serve. Her serve is up. And it's going to be dove on by Dahl, but she couldn't get underneath that one, and she is accredited there with the ace as they take a 4-point lead. Maddie McCabe again back to serve. She sets up her serve. It's up and over. Handled by Dahl. Dahl to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up Studnicka. Studnicka is going to get blocked by Garverick, but it's going to fall out of bounds off of the hands of a combo block between Olsen and Garverick. 14, Hagaboom now back to serve for the Wildcats. Her serve is up, and it's going to be handled by Shoemaker. Passes it off to Olsen. Olsen's going to set up Garverick, who's going to get blocked by Studnicka, and Studnicka's going to hit it off out of bounds. Oilers substitution, Hannah Tong and Megan Wendell in the game now for Amanda Winter and Kara Scherger. Wendell now back to serve for the Oilers. Ready's her serve. It's up and over. It's handled by number 19, Monsma. Monsma passes it off to number 14. It's going to be set up by Shoemaker, who's going to send the ball off into the stands in the reserve section. Studnicka again back to serve for the Wildcats. Handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passes it off to Olsen, who sets up Tong. Tong is going to send a bullet into the net, but it's going to go over. It's kept alive by Berger. Berger's going to pass it off to Studnicka, and Studnicka is going to dive on that one. Send it over to Shoemaker, who dives on it as well and couldn't keep it alive. Studnicka sends it over, and it's going to be an ace. Shoemaker couldn't quite dive on that one, and looks like Coach is going to take a quick timeout as he's holding on to a 1-point lead here, and we're going to stick around. And Coach is talking to his girls, trying to ready them for this next set here as they hold on to that 20-19 lead. The Eagles coming back 3 points in that set, and they're going to try and figure out something they can do. Hopefully Hannah Tong and Julie Lyons can account for some sort of block and a dominant performance in the front net. The winner of tonight's game is going to go on to face the winner of Hillsdale Saginaw Valley, which I'm being told it looks like Hillsdale won that in 4 sets, 3-1. So the winner of this game will then face Hillsdale on Saturday night, and the lowest seed will then host. So if the Oilers can come away with a win here in this set, they will then host Hillsdale here at Croy Saturday night. And it looks like the Wildcats are breaking down as the Oilers await them to get on out to the court to get this one back underway. Studnicka looks like she is going to be the one to serve here for Northern Michigan. And a quick substitution. Erin Gilbert in for Maddie McCabe. And Studnicka readies her serve. Her serve is up, and it's over to Wendell. Wendell sets up Olsen, who's going to set up Tong. Tong sends a bullet into the hands of Studnicka. She's going to fall to the ground. She couldn't get underneath that one. It's going to fall out of bounds. 21-19 the score here at the Croy. Becca Shoemaker now back to serve. Her serve is up, and it's handled by, looks like Kayla Choza, who passed it off to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up Whitehead. Whitehead is going to send that one over, and it's going to be out of bounds. Point go to the Wildcats. Berger back to serve, handled by Winter. It's going to set up by Hannah Tong. Hannah Tong's going to send a bullet into the backcourt. And again, Studnicka couldn't get underneath it. And they're going to take a 2-point lead, 22-20, the score here at Croy. Haley Olsen back to serve. Her serve is handled by Berger. Berger sets up Hagaboom, who's going to pass it off to Choza. It's going to be off the hand of Becca Shoemaker. Point Wildcat. Megan Dahl in the game now for the Wildcats as she is back to serve. Her serve is handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Olsen. Olsen to Lyons. Lyons is going to pass it off to Dahl. Dahl is going to send it into the net. Point Oilers as they have a 2-point lead, 23-21 the score. Hannah Tong is now back to serve for the Oilers as they are 2 points away from taking this one in 4 games. Tong serve is up. Handled by Dahl. Dahl pass it off to Hagaboom, who sets up Choza. And Tong is going to dive on that one, but she wasn't there. It's going to go out of bounds, point Wildcat. And you can tell by the expression on Hannah's face that she's not too pleased with herself on that one. Another step to the right, and she would have been there. Autumn Monsmus to serve for the Wildcats. Sends it over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker sets up Olsen, who's going to go back to Lyons. Lyons going to send it over, and it's going to get blocked, but kept alive by 12. It's going to be out of bounds. Set point for the Oilers. 24-22. It's the score here. Everybody here in the Croy is on their feet to cheer on their Oilers as Julia Lyons is back to serve. Lyons serve handled by Dahl. Dahl to Hagaboom. Hagaboom sets up Studnicka. Studnicka is going to send it over to Tong, who's going to dive on it, but she couldn't quite get to it. 24-23 the score here at the Croy. Supple back to serve. Her serve is up, handled by Shoemaker. Shoemaker passed it off to Olsen. Olsen sets up Garverick. Back to Olsen, who sets up Winter, who's going to score in the midcourt. And the Oilers go on to face Hillsdale Saturday night as they take this one in 4, 25-23. And we thank everybody out there who tuned in tonight, and we thank everybody here in our production studio. As if it wasn't for you, this would not be possible, and we thank all of our listeners out there for tuning in, and make sure you guys tune in Saturday night, 7 o'clock, here at the Croy, where the Lady Oilers will be taking on Hillsdale in the semifinal of the GLIAC tournament. Thank you, and have a great night, and thank you for tuning in to UFTV.